Friday, February 28th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. There's your numbers from yesterday. A lot of 50s for highs across the region. It's going to be colder today. I think a lot of us 10 degrees or more chillier for highs today on this Friday than what we saw yesterday. Currently, a lot of 20s on the board across the Piedmont, some 30s involved. Teens up around Boone, 28 in Raleigh. These are roughly 5:30 a.m. temperatures here on this Friday morning. Now the radar currently quiet here. Now you look off to the west of us, you can notice the clouds and a little bit of precipitation building through the lower Mississippi Valley back into parts of Oklahoma and Kansas. That's with our first in a series of a few disturbances rolling our way. Now let me show you the overall setup today. It's going to be a quiet day, high pressure building in from the north. It's going to be a chilly day too, though. As I mentioned, highs a good bit cooler than what we saw yesterday. And then that disturbance arrives tonight. Let me kind of show you the overall setup here. First of all, there's your first piece of energy rippling into the southeast early tomorrow. And then here comes the next piece. That dives in here Monday. And finally, what will probably be the most intense system gets here either Thursday or Friday of next week. The European operational run, which is what I'm showing you here, it is much slower than some of the other models. I'll show you more on that coming up. Now here's the surface map into the weekend. Chilly today, no problems at all, but the clouds build in tonight, and there's your very brief window of opportunity of some very light freezing rain or freezing drizzle early tomorrow morning across the Piedmont of North Carolina. Again, I do not think this is a huge deal. I can't rule out one or two slick spots on a bridge or an overpass, but there's just not enough precipitation here to be any type of high impact event. Some sunshine works in from the west as we get toward tomorrow afternoon, and then I think Sunday is a very nice weather day. Highs pushing well into the 60s ahead of that next cold front that then drops in here on Monday. Now this is what the NAM model is printing out in terms of ice accumulations. It has backed down and gotten in line with the other modeling in terms of precip amounts. But again, that blue shaded area, that's where it's conceivable there might be a little bit, and even back into the Charlotte metro, you can't rule it out. Maybe just enough to cause a slick spot on a couple of elevated surfaces early tomorrow morning. But again, there's just simply not enough precip for this to be a huge problem. There's a look at the European model then for Monday. That's when that next cold front slides in. Looks like a chance of some rain. As Monday unfolds, probably temperatures falling at a pretty good clip Monday afternoon. Ski resort areas, there's the resort information as we head into the first weekend in March. And everybody in good shape. And many of the ski resorts planning to ski for several more weeks. In fact, even some resorts planning to stay open to early April, weather permitting. So pretty good stuff up there in the high country. Now let's get into some of the more detailed modeling. Again, I kind of showed you this on the graphic system a second ago, but here's another look at the upper air chart. There comes our next disturbance. This is this afternoon. That rolls through early tomorrow. Here comes Monday's system, and then finally that big cutoff low begins to organize on the European operational Thursday. And by the time you get to Friday early afternoon, there you go. Pretty intense closed upper air low over Georgia moving into the Carolinas. Now, let's take a look at how this unfolds for us. And let's just stick with the European first, and I'll show you the other models. There we go. Monday, that is rain across the region, but pretty good northeast winds do kick in Monday afternoon, so they're in some spots, and so there could be a pretty good drop in temperatures Monday afternoon, depending on how that system sets up. Now here we go, Thursday evening, low pressure in the Gulf. You take a look at that at face value, you think, man, that is a perfect setup for a winter storm. And it is really, in terms of the low pressure track. You go out to Friday evening, there goes the low lifting up the coast. The problem here for snow fans is that there's not a ton of cold air around. At the same time, there's the 850 millibar temperatures. Now it's close. You're looking at temperatures 0 to maybe 1 or 2 degrees Celsius over the western Carolina, so it's close. It's close to being a winter storm. Now the GFS, it's quicker. Before I leave the European, let me show you this. All right, there's the European, again, operational run. Let me go back to, well, I didn't put 180 in there, but here's the issue. The ensemble mean is quicker with the track of this. So I think the European operational is probably a little too slow with the handling of that system next week. Now GFS, that's what it looks like. This was the 0Z run. I have not seen the 6Z yet. Now this was 12Z, so that's around daybreak Thursday. Low pressure near the mouth of the Mississippi River. 12 hours later, It's slowly developing to the Carolina coast. Now, 850 temperatures at that time, very warm, relatively speaking. So that is certainly an all-rain system on the GFS. All right, finally, the Canadian representation. There's what it looks like in 144 hours. And I didn't stick the longer range charts on there. Let's see if I can grab those very quickly here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, now this, if you're hoping for a winter storm, the Canadian model is the solution that you would like to verify, because it is indeed a big, big snow event next week, Thursday into Friday in the western Carolinas. Now, this is Thursday evening. Low pressure situated just a little east of Myrtle Beach. Look at all that precipitation there through the Carolinas. You go to early Friday morning, the low pressure has deepened and crawled up to around the Outer Banks. And again, that is a big winter storm on the Canadian model. But again, that is just one model. The GFS and the European are warmer overall. But that is a solution that is a possibility. Now, again, I'm not ready to write off the winter weather potential next week, but I'm certainly not sold on it yet. But it does look like there'll be a pretty intense system move through Thursday or Friday, and we'll just have to see how the features line up in terms of the cold air feed into the system, the high pressure over the northeast, and see if we can line things up for any winter weather potential next week. Now, one last item off the Canadian. This is Monday's system. Look at the cold air diving pretty far south into the Tennessee Valley, and taking verbatim the Canadian indicating some ice in the northern parts of Mississippi and Alabama. And then even as the system pulls away Monday, snow and sleet makes it down to about the northern tier of counties in North Carolina near the Virginia border as that colder air rushes in. But again, for most of us, I think the Monday system is just rain. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend, and God bless.